It is 5 o'clock. We're a little under, well, we're like 3.6 miles up on Signal Ridge Trail towards Mount Kerrigan. And this is the one view before you get out to Signal Ridge. And it's looking out at Kearsarge North and come over here. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Iron Mountain right there. I don't know what that stuff is. Way out. I don't know. Maybe the bonds. I'm not sure. We're kind of looking towards the north, maybe northeast. Oh, you know, that's probably stairs. Because I could see Langdon. No, I don't know. I actually don't know what that is. But we finished our other hike very uneventfully. Grabbed our car, went to the Willie house and had lunch, then picked up our bikes. Yes.
Can you grab the car out for me?
Yes.
I'm gonna split one with you. But you
Not
can
now.
finish it. Okay.
We grabbed our bikes from Willie house, drove them to we drove our packs to the Signal Ridge trailhead, locked our packs to a tree, went back to the Nancy Pond trailhead, left our car, and then we rode our bikes without our packs back to Signal Ridge. Thank goodness we did that too, because the first mile or so was on pavement downhill, but then the rest of it was like 2.5 miles of uphill dirt road. Oh, boy, that was rough going. So good thing we weren't carrying a pack. But we have about a mile to go until we get to the campsite. There's an actual legitimate campsite up at right below the summit of Kerrigan. And when we were dropping our packs, I saw another couple heading up with overnight gear. So I expect that we will not be the only one there. There's no viable water up there. So we're carrying enough to get us through until we can water up tomorrow morning after we get off at Desolation Trail. And today was very hot and humid. So if you hear me breathing hard, it's because this is really kind of rough, although it's starting to cool off a little bit. It was 87 at the car when we started biking. All right. Next stop will be Signal Ridge, which is beautiful. We are about 4.5 miles in, and this is like the first little pop-out view on Signal Ridge. The views just get better and better, but I think we want to go set up our campsite, so I probably won't shoot too much more, but this is Chicorowa, and then, oh gosh, sweating. Over here, this guy with all the red slides is Mount Lowell. This is Vaux Spur. And then Mount Nancy is, I can't really see on my screen, but there's a smaller bump behind Lowell, that's Anderson. And then Nancy's this one. And then behind Nancy is Bemis. And then over here is Tom, Field, and Willie. Willie, Field, Tom. And then across the street from that with all the slidey stuff is the Webster Cliffs. And then up behind is the Presidentials. Looking nice and clear right now. Yeah, it's a little hazy. As usual, the pointy one right there is Kearsarge North. All right, we want to get moving. It's about, what time? 5:45. Yeah. So, gotta go make sure there's a campsite. But this is like a few tenths of a mile walking along the ridge. It's beautiful. Just beautiful. Okay, you can see the scree on Bow Spur.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a bushwhack that we did. Here we are. This is an official designated camping area. There's no water up here, no bathrooms, no bear boxes, no tent platforms, no privies. Yeah, so it's primitive, but
All good.
there's at least 2 other couples that are up here also. So we're gonna go over to the summit, which is literally right around the corner. And there's a fire tower with 360 views. You can see, I think you can see more 4,000 footers from Kerrigan than you can from anything else except Washington, maybe. So anyway, hopefully we'll have a good night's sleep here. So this is the the summit tower on, it's knocking stuff over, on Kerrigan. So this is looking out at Bow Spur here. I believe this is the captain, but I'm not positive. And he had 2 jobs. Yeah, I guess. And then this is looking south, so Chikorwa, and my screen is dirty, past Conway, and White Face right there, and then the Tri-Pyramids over here. And let's see, which way am I facing? I think the Hancocks are right over. No, that's not right. I think. Yeah, no, I don't know. No, I think the Hancocks must be. I'm confused again. Okay. And then this direction is I think, I'm not sure.
How are you? Hello, how are you? Is this to know you? We can take it down.
It's looking at Franconia Ridge over here. I think. No, that's the Bonds. Sorry. Man, I'm having a heck of a time. Okay, this for sure is Mount Washington right over here. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, here's Lowell right here.
We have ramen, so classic
Oh,
go-to.
ramen is also really good.
I don't know if either of you want.
Sun setting over Lafayette. Good morning. It's Sunday, the 24th of July. My last video was sunrise up at the tower, but I didn't talk over it because why? Why ruin a nice thing? And there were other people up there enjoying their breakfast. So anyway, we are about a quarter of a mile down on Desolation Trail right now, which is one of the optional trails on the Terrifying 25. We took it once before going down. It's not particularly terrifying anywhere. Last time we did it, we also were backpacking, and I think it was late May. And this section, actually, we had to wear spikes on. There was quite a bit of ice left. So in that regard, it was kind of terrifying because it is quite a steep trail and you don't want to slip. But other than that, it's not really terrifying. It's just a standard, well, maybe a little more rough than most highly traveled trails, but it's not a highly traveled trail, so I don't think it's terrifying. Whatever. Anyway, so we're partway down that, and we're gonna connect up to, boy, I think it's Kerrigan Notch Trail, maybe. I don't know. There's a loop, but we're not going to loop all the way around. We're just going to get on it, and then at Stillwater Junction, we're going to head out towards Nancy Pond. So that will be new trail for us. And yeah, last night was a good night's sleep, I thought. John didn't think so much. I don't know. The bugs were pretty buggy this morning, especially at our campsite because there wasn't a lot of wind. So up on the tower, though, it was breezy, sustained breeze. So we ate breakfast up there. No bugs. It's a little bit buggy here, but when you're moving, they don't get you. All right, so this is just a taste of what the Desolation Trail is like. Definitely want poles. We just finished coming down Desolation Trail, and now we're on Kerrigan Notch Trail. And I just think it's one of the nicest trails that I've been on in the Whites. Really flat. There is a little bit of gain as we come up to the trail junction that we're going to go on, but this whole area, I'm getting swarmed by bugs, but this whole area is part of what was called the Desolation Wilderness, and that's because there was a fire, and I have to go, I can't remember what year or even what century. I can't remember, but it burned everything. So there was nothing back in this area. And I think it went all the way up as far as like Arethusa Falls. So that's why it was called Desolation, because it was like a wasteland back here. It's pretty though. This is the Nancy Pond Trail, right where it connects up to Kerrigan Notch, and this area is so interesting. I'm sure it's not capturing it. It's like being in a dark tunnel, but because it's sunny out, I think that it is showing like it's got sky up above, but it really doesn't. And it is so thick on the side. I mean, it's like a foot in between. There's no way you could run off this trail to get away from somebody. So anyway, this is like, it's like being in a fairy tale or something. It's just really thick. They've done a lot of cutting though. See, that's all cut. Last year when we did Vos Spur, we came up right to the junction and camped. There's a huge impacted area up there. And we camped there and walked up here just because it was so neat. But I've never been out the other side of it. We're coming to the end of it right here, I think. Boy, that bird had a lot to say. I think it was a wren. I'm not sure which kind. So this is a crossing on Norcross Brook. And there's John. Definite water source here. And actually where the junction with Kerrigan Notch and Desolation is, there's definite water. And then Kerrigan Notch and Nancy Pond, there's two different water crossings that are also reliable. And we have this one, and then we have another one coming up on Anderson Brook, which I think is also a reliable one. But this is someplace I've never been, so it's a good sized water crossing. We have a bunch of water now on Nancy Pond Trail. There's going to be lots of water, including a couple crossings near, as you get closer to 302, that claim they might not be doable with dry feet, but it's such a low water time now. I think we'll be okay. But this is Norcross Brook, and I think the first pond we're coming to might be Norcross Pond. There's definitely Nancy Pond and Norcross. So we just popped out of the trees right here, and the trail is going to cross these rocks and go there. And this is water falling down here. And looking at the back of the bonds, so this is Bond. Bond Cliff is over on this side. And then Guyot is on this side. And Franconia Ridge, some parts of it are sticking up, but it's probably impossible to tell on that. Skies are looking overcast. It was totally clear this morning. I believe that the trail is going to skirt the edge of Norcross Pond, but we can climb up these rocks and probably get a look at the pond. I'm pretty excited because I've never been here, and ponds are far and few between. Ooh, look at that. I think the water level's a little low, it looks like everywhere. Okay. So this is the smaller of the, I think there's only two, right? Nancy Pond and Norcross Pond. There might be another one that's not named. I don't know. Anyway, here we are.
Actually, this is the bigger of the two.
This is the bigger one?
It's Norcross.
Norcross is bigger. Okay.
The other one's not named on my map, but it's smaller.
Huh.
I mean, there's a small one that's nearby here, and then there's another one. That's Nancy Pond.
Nancy is the other one. Yeah. So there are three.
There are three. One of them is tiny, though.
I think maybe there's an upper and a lower.
Yeah, could be.
Norcross, maybe. Anyway, amazingly, the bugs are pretty much non-existent right here. Maybe because we're not exposed. Man, in the woods, it was just relentless. Mosquitoes and black flies. I thought black fly season was kind of over. Guess not. Okay, so pretty soon, so this is Nancy right there. And very shortly, we're going to be starting up on the unmaintained trail.
I think there's a sign.
Really?
Well, I could see a sign when I looked across. I don't know if it's a sign for...
Okay, let's go see. Okay, so we are climbing up Mount Nancy. Right there is Lowell, and then the edge of Kerrigan with Vos Spur sticking up. Oh my goodness, and there's a nice big red slide that you can see as you're coming down Nancy Pond Trail toward 302. You can look up and see it. I didn't realize Mount Nancy had a slide on it. And this is the very, very tippy top of it. You don't climb. Well, the trail doesn't go along here. It goes right next to it. There's the trail. And as you can see, that trail looks better than a lot of trails in the Whites. So it's definitely heavily used. Yeah. Excellent. I think these two mountains right in the center, I believe, are the Hancocks. Yes, they should be. All right, so we're gonna cut back in and keep heading up. But this is pretty neat. It's pretty steep too. Nice.
It's steeper.
I know, the very top of it is very, very steep. This is the summit of Mount Nancy, 3,926 feet. And has a view out. It's a little hazy today, as usual. Washington, and then Boot Spur to the right of that. Coming down around behind it are the Carters. And then over here is Stairs and Resolution. Mount Bemis in the foreground, which is on the New Hampshire 100 highest. Over here, the double tops through the trees, and Kearsarge North through the trees right there. So that's the view looking east. And then the view to the north. Well, let's see, where can I get it? Maybe over here. To the northeast, we've got right through the trees, that's Mount Willie. And then in front of it is, oh, I can't see it on my, where is it? I think in here is Avalon. And then on this side, that's the Webster Cliffs. And the Southern Presidential's going up right up that way. So Pierce and Eisenhower and Monroe and Jefferson sticking up between. All right, so that's the view, but there's another, it looks like another spur. So we're gonna go down and see if there's a different view or a better view or no view. We'll go investigate. But this is the footpath is really very obvious the entire way. And it's not brushed out though, so you get a lot of trees in the face. You see, there's a little bit there, but I don't think there's anything that way. We came in this way. And it's pretty steep going for a while. Okay, so this is where we came in. But this, I don't know if this goes anywhere. I don't think so. No, I think we were right. So that was it.
Yeah, I didn't see a canister.
I don't think there is a canister. I don't know.
There's a picture of the sinus.
Is that the highest thing though? I feel like this feels
Higher
higher.
over there.
You're right, it was 4 feet higher. Okay, so we came up the other side of the mountain. So as we descend, we will have some views looking back to Kerrigan area. And I will probably shoot one more little video there. All right. So this is the view as we descend, looking back at Kerrigan. So Kerrigan and Vaux Spur right there. And then this is Lowell. And then over there, the Hancocks. I already kind of showed this from a little further up. This is a slide. It sort of looks like the south slide of Tri-Pyramids.
Yep.
Like sandy, some loose scree. We got blueberries. These are the first blueberries I've seen that are ready. And meadow sweet blooming. A little bit right there. It's throughout. Further down there's some. Okay, so we're just gonna head back down and then we'll be walking along Nancy Pond Trail to check out the ponds and the streams and the cascades, Nancy Cascades. Can't wait, actually.
Sounds good.
Yeah, let's go do it. We just had another opportunity to pop out to the slide, so we took it because slides are fun. So looking over, this is, oh, I can hardly see on my screen. Let's see. In the distance, there's 2 bumps, so that's Flume and Liberty. And then Franconia Ridge over here. And then this is Bond Cliff in the foreground. And I can see with my naked eye, like I can see all the rocky outcropping, but it's probably not visible to you guys at home. And this is the slide. It continues on up in the trees for a while. Very cool. Wow, the clouds have moved out.
Yep.
Yep. It's getting hot in the sun. All right, we're gonna head down, but not down the slide. Back to the woods.
Here's your tamarack hackmatack.
I don't know what it is. Well, we're back at Norcross Pond because it's windy and beautiful, and we figured we'd sit down and dump all the debris out of our shoes, actually. The entrance to the Mount Nancy Trail is probably 40 or 50 feet from here. It's really, really close. So we're done with that. Now we're just gonna work our way out. But the wind feels so nice, and looking the other way, I didn't zoom in. I should have zoomed in. We have a nice view of Bond. And you know what? I think I can see Gio campsite. Actually, I'm positive I can. Look at that. And then Bond Cliff. Right there, looking really rocky. Let me zoom in on it. All right, that's as zoomed as I can go. Bond Cliff over here. And then right on the flank of Bond, I'm sure that's the campsite. Wish I had my binoculars. I'm not sure that's the campsite, but it is. It's not on Gio. It's between Bond, and it's down quite a ways. That looks pretty open to me. I don't know. All right. Oh, it's lovely now, especially with the wind. So we are walking by Nancy Pond right now, and it's not as picturesque as Norcross Pond. I might be able to pop out right here and show you, but I started recording because I wanted to show you the bog bridges. I think there's over 150 of them on this trail, so that's kind of cool. Oh, here's a view of the pond. Let's see if I can come down a little. Yeah, it's okay, but Norcross was definitely nicer. There it is. And now we're back into more bog bridges. And on and on. So we've been hearing cascading water for quite a while, and we are near, I believe we're right near Nancy Cascades. This comes down, there's a pool, and then it goes right over there, and I can hear people's voices down there, so I think that that's going to be the cascades, but if you look up, like there's up there's some. I mean, it's been coming down for at least a quarter of a mile. So very, very impressive. So let's go check it out down there. The trail, whoa, right here is quite steep. I mean, that's looking straight out. Oh, doesn't ever translate, but it's quite steep.
Let's go see.
And this is Nancy Cascades. We just went for a swim and it was awesome. I highly recommend it. The water was not too cold. There's a nice little pool. It's not super deep, but you can get in and get yourself fully submerged and float around. Lovely.